Reviews.
Hi, welcome to Troubadour's videos. Today we're going to look at the VL9000 series Armor A90 computer case from Thermaltake. Upon delivery, the Armor A90 arrived in great condition. The case comes extremely well packaged and contained in a dust-proof plastic wrapper. So let's have a closer look at this case and included accessories. With the Armor A90, you will receive the following accessories: a multilingual warranty guide and user manual, 2 snap bushings for water cooling hoses, 8 screws for attaching additional case fans, 4 support spacers for adding a 200mm accessory fan to the front of this case, a speaker, 4 countersink screws for installing a 2.5-inch hard disk drive or solid state drive, 10 M3 screws for installing optical disk drives or drive bay accessories, 9 screws for mounting hard disk drives or securing PCI cards, 12 motherboard screws, and 5 motherboard standoffs. The outside of the case is very aggressively styled in a black stealthy type finish. The side panel has a formed triangular clear window for viewing the case interior. This window is unusually small for a gaming PC, but does however complement the case's aggressive styling. To provide additional cooling to your GPUs, the side panel also includes a vent and provision to install an additional 120mm case fan. The bottom of the case is elevated slightly from the floor to provide adequate airflow around the base of the Armor A90 case and PSU air intake. To help keep your PSU as clean as possible, the PSU's ventilation grille comes with a fine mesh filter screen. From the bottom of the case you can also access the 4 mounting points for installing a 2.5-inch hard disk drive or SSD. At the back of the case you have your power supply bay, 2 knockouts for liquid water cooling hoses, 7 PCI expansion slots, a large natural venting grille, keyboard mouse security lock, input-output panel knockout, 120mm rear vent fan, and 2 additional water cooling knockouts. The top of the case has unique styling with these steel mesh panels and a huge 200mm upper ventilation fan. You also have connections for eSATA and 2 USB connection ports. The Armor A90's front panel is aggressively styled with a mix of vents and steel mesh panels. The front vent has a fine filter mesh screen to assist in keeping the inside of your PC case as clean as possible. The front panel contains an on-off switch, reset button, hard disk drive activity and power on LEDs, USB and audio connections, and a large bay door that hides 3 5.25-inch and 1 3.5-inch drive bays. Behind the front cover panel you can clearly see the stock 120mm fan. You also have the provision of adding a second 120mm fan or installing one 200mm fan to force lots of cool air inside this mid-size case. Removing the side panel on the Armor A90 is an easy operation. Simply remove the 2 thumb screws and lift the side panel clear. The interior of the case is also painted in a black finish. The motherboard tray is captive and is not removable. Motherboard configurations that are compatible with the Armor A90 are Micro ATX and ATX form factors. You also have a small PSU support bracket and a large CPU socket cutout for providing access to the rear of the CPU socket. This is especially useful when installing or removing coolers or water blocks without the need to remove the motherboard from the case. To assist in good airflow through the case, cable management with the A90 is a breeze, especially thanks to a 2.5-inch deep cable well. This is ideal for hiding all the bulky excess cables out of the way and providing a clean look to the interior of the case. This case comes with the following front panel connections: hard disk drive LED, power switch and reset switch, HD audio, 2 USB hookups and a SATA connector. You also have 3 fan power connectors, one 4-pin Molex for the 120mm front fan, one 4-pin Molex for the 200mm top fan, and a 3-pin fan header connector for the 120mm rear vent fan. The Armor A90's accessory and drive bays are easy to access and have a completely toolless design. To install a 5¼ inch device, simply squeeze the clips, lift, insert your device, and you're done. The same toolless design is also included on the 3½ inch hard disk drive bays. The Armor A90 provides quite a bit of room for future needs and growth. The front drive bays consist of 3 5¼ inch bays as well as one front accessible 3½ inch bay, and on the inside of the case you have 6 hidden 3½ inch bays and a mounting platform for a 2½ inch hard disk drive or SSD. If you attend lots of LAN parties, then you will like the keyboard mouse security lock. The security lock's thumb screw is only accessible from inside the case, and to further secure your case, you have the option of locking the side panel. So let's install some Uber hardware inside Thermaltake's Armor A90. The Thermaltake Armor A90 looks aggressive and stealthy with its angular aesthetic looks and bright blue LED fans. Although this is a mid-sized tower case, there is more than enough internal real estate to install the latest killer hardware and sufficient fans and ventilation to, more importantly, keep it cool. So, if you're looking for a sub $100 mid-sized case that's aggressively styled, small enough to hold the LAN parties, and includes features that are usually associated with much higher cost cases, the Thermaltake Armor A90 will prove to be a tough deal to beat. Thanks again for watching Troubadour's videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest in extreme PC and gaming hardware, or feel free to follow us on Facebook using the following web link.